The following podcast has been rated NWDJ for naughty words and dick jokes. Viewer discretion is advised. And welcome to Space Chicken, the podcast that has less postings here than the president has porn stars accusing them of non-disclosure agreements. Today, we haven't done this in a while, so that's Scott. Say hi, Scott.
Howdy.
And then, as always, I am no right answer, and under me is that Twitter that I'm never on. But you can mention me to give me a reason to go, what the hell is Twitter? So, we want to talk about MMOs again today. And by we, I mean me. I have not briefed Scott at all about what I'm going to talk about.
No.
And this is what's going to be an incredibly boring and or incredibly interesting meta theory about the monetization practices of games. I know, riveting. But listen. This weird thing happened the other day. We were looking at upcoming MMOs, right? So we were looking at things like Bless Online, right? Which is something that I was interested in. There's a couple Kickstarter ones. One was Kingdoms of Valeria or something of Valeria or Ilaria of Valeria, which we talked about before. And I was watching some videos on it, and it looked very WoW-like, right? It brought me back to like doing dungeons and Vanilla WoW, and it all looked pretty cool, and it looked really awesome. And I was like, "Oh, hey!" And I called Dave. Like, Dave, look at this video of this thing that looks like this thing we used to do back in the day. And we're all suckers for nostalgia, so let's get super interested in it. And he started reading more because I didn't read. I just looked at the pictures and the moving pictures known as videos. And I was like, "Oh, moving pictures! You got me to think about doing this." He goes, but there's a subscription fee. All right, so it's not buy to play and it's not free to play. It's subscription based, and I think, and I wasn't 100% sure that it's just subscription. So you actually don't have to buy the game; you just pay the sub, and you can play the game, which seems like an interesting concept to me. And we covered the other day with Mike. By the other day, I mean months ago. With Mike, the Xbox Game Pass, right, and kind of like subbing for games, and talking about it, I got really excited about the idea of having like a subscription game. And I started thinking, initially I was turned off because I said after a while I was never going to sub for a game. Lie, after Rift I was never going to sub for a game because I subbed to Rift. I subbed to WoW, then I subbed to Rift. And I stopped. And then this thing happened. I started thinking about it, and I don't know if Chronicles of Valeria is the name of the game that I'm thinking about. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the game I'm thinking about. Zero research done here. I don't know if they're going to have a cash shop, right? So the whole idea of games as a service, it being a conceptual thing, is dead. Games are a service. They're not a thing you buy. You don't buy games. You buy a service. Case in point, I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege lately, and while you're in the lobby of Rainbow Six Siege, things on your screen pop up like, What's His Nuts has been banned for toxicity. So you pay for Rainbow Six with money, USD, if you're in the US, euros or pounds or whatever if you're overseas, pesos, yen, rubles. Is rubles a thing? Anyway, you pay for your money and then you can be banned from playing it. And the thing about Rainbow Six Siege is there's not really a single player thing. So it's not like, you're being denied access to the whole game. So subbing for it, not paying for it, subbing for it, if it removes the cash shop, if you go, there is no cash shop, right? So we're going to remove any semblance of pay to win, right? And we just say you sub and you get the game. Are we at the point, have we come full circle? Are we the Ouroboros, the dragon circling and eating its own ass? And maybe in my head, I got to the point where I was like, I would think I'd prefer to pay a sub. Like part of me was like, I think I'm to the point now where I'd prefer to sub to a game if it removed all of the other nonsense that came with free-to-play or buy-to-play with a cash shop for vanity items. So that is my premise for the show, my long-winded, I'm going to say about 5-minute monologue to start. Scott, am I crazy?
Well, without a doubt, you're crazy. But if we're talking about this subject, I want to just see if I understand you correctly in that we were paying for games, or we were getting essentially these pay to win games. And what you're hoping for is, if I'm paying a subscription, it's not like a freemium, kind of game where you pay and get better stuff. What you're saying is, I pay a subscription and nobody gets an advantage. Just everybody subscribes and plays. Is that kind of
so?
What you're saying?
So the evolution of the business model, right? Initially, there was a game. They say, here's the game. You play the game. When you're done with the game, you're done with the game. Here's another game, right?
Right.
Then we became a subscription model. You buy the game. Here's the game. If you want to continue to play the game, give me money, right? Again, we're going to use WoW as you pay the box. You pay the sticker price. You get a couple months free. When those couple months are up, you got to give them $15 every month in order to keep playing, right? So now, in order to compete with that, other games followed the very similar model. Again, we'll take Rift, for example. Rift was one of the many WoW killers that were supposed to come and kill WoW. WoW still running strong after, I think, 25,000 years. So it was supposed to kill WoW. Didn't kill WoW. Had a subscription as well. Once it became clear it wasn't going to kill WoW, the player base fell off. So they went free to play, right? So when they went free to play, they had to introduce another type of monetization into the game. Now, Rift didn't invent this, I don't think, but I'm just using it as an example. So what they ended up doing was they took it in the direction of, hey, here's a cash shop. Now, WoW has a cash shop too, where you can buy mounts that glow and are look like dragons and stuff. So it's still a cash shop in WoW. So WoW has a severe. So then from that type of mentality, they came just to straight up free to play. We'll make this game. Making games costs money, so they have to get the money back somehow. So you can go something like Smite, right? Or the other MOBAs, actually MOBAs in general, where they're like, hey, here's all this vanity stuff that you can buy. Pure vanity, debatable as to whether the skins give you an advantage because some of them come with different effects that you might not be used to. But again, really doesn't affect the casual player. But then you had this other side of it that introduced kind of pay-to-win mechanics where you could buy boosters to make you level up faster, or you can straight up buy weapons in other games, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it muddies the water, right? So you'll have a game like Sea of Thieves that came out. And Sea of Thieves is like, oh, yeah, we're going to have a cash shop. But the cash shop is if you want to buy a hat, right? And everyone's like, I think I'm okay with that, right? But then you had like, you go to Star Wars, right? Battlefront 2 and their whole loot box controversy, right? Which was preceded by Battlefield's loot box controversy, right? And then it was like, I don't know if we want to just like pay things in the game, but then of course Battlefield had another side of it where you can pay to reduce the grind, which I don't know why anyone would reduce the grind. It's part of the game. The grind is part of the game. Embrace the grind. Anyway. So they can circumnavigate the grind, but instead of getting levels, they're actually gaining things that gave them a competitive advantage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what I'm saying is, have we gone so far the other way that I want to find comfort in just going, I'm going to give you $15 and just let me play the game as is. So you can get your money and you can keep doing your updates and you can keep supporting the product, because I understand you got to make money, you got to maintain the servers. If we're going to say dedicated servers, so it's not a migrating local host thing, right? Because games like that, I feel like people don't even remember the days of the migrating local host for multiplayer games where it's like, oh, this guy's hosting, his internet is crap. And now everyone's lagging, to like, hey, we have dedicated servers, those things like that. I understand there's overhead, there's people you have to maintain, employee. We want more content, so you got to come out with patches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like I might give you $15 in Coder today.
So where do you stand on things like isn't Overwatch kind of in that vein where like you pay for the game, but there's no real aspect of the game that you can pay to win on. right? 'Cause I can't remember. I don't know too much about Overwatch.
Yeah. So Overwatch, they have they have the loot box system too. You can earn the loot boxes. They run
Okay.
events. They have limited skins, but all that stuff is like vanity stuff. That's another thing. Yeah, but also like when you log into Overwatch, it's like, hey, loot crates, right? Huh?
That's true.
They're not
That's,
the only
that's-
ones like that. They're not the only ones like
So
that.
you want-
They just
you
brought
want-
them up.
No cash shop. You want nothing. You want to pay for a game, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
And that's it. I just want to say, hey, I think we've come around on this. I would like to subscribe to play your game, and if I'm not going to play it, I'd like to forego my subscription. And then when I go to play it again, I'll resub.
Having not paid for the actual game itself, just
Now again, I'm not 100% sure that it's not going to have zero box price, but I do attest that as a new model for this, we say no box price,
no box price.
straight sub, right? And I'm sure someone can hack and break the system, but nobody. And it's just, hey, very similar to Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass, you pay your price for the Game Pass, and you can download any game associated with the Game Pass. When your subscription ends, those games are not deleted from your game library. You just can't access them unless you redo your Game Pass.
I honestly, I think that's what's going to end up happening. If you look at it, I forget who it was. Was it NVIDIA or whatever, where you can essentially play a game, and it doesn't matter what kind of computer you have, you're using the processing of the server computer for graphics and everything. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Right,
So,
like,
it's from NVIDIA. They have like a laptop, like a scaled-down laptop. But I will tell you, if you get the NVIDIA Shield, right? So I have the NVIDIA Shield. Okay, it's a streamer box. Okay, so it's you put your Hulu, your Kodi, your Netflix on it, right? It's an Android streamer box, but it also has like the NVIDIA. It comes with an NVIDIA controller, right? And you can stream games. So they have games on them that you 100% stream. You play essentially online back to the server. You need a decent internet to do it, right? And I have it, and it's in my bedroom, and it's amazing.
well,
It's amazing. You don't download any of the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, and I mean, it started. I mean, it's kind of going off topic, but it's in the same space, right? Because I think it's all leading in the same direction. When you have, we were buying physical games and that was it, right? Just like you said, and then you have, we're moving towards all these subscriptions and stuff, and you kind of look at it. Well, like soon you're not going to need anything except for a tiny little box, right, to stream from, because the internet's going to be so fast, and you're just going to pay your subscription a month to access those servers and to play the games you want to play. I definitely think that we're going in that direction. That's amazing. If I don't need a big tower or anything like that, or if it doesn't matter what I'm playing on, if I'm playing on a Mac or a Windows or a laptop or whatever, that'd be really awesome. So I'm with you on that. Like if I could just pay a subscription and that gives me everything I wanted to play, because, so many of your friends will have different games. Like you have 1,000 games on Steam, right? I don't, but it'd be nice if you.
Game. Well, you didn't change. What's the, I'm gonna tell you my library right now is 195 games, and
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that is, I promise, dwarfed by so many people out there.
Well, let me just tell you, my Steam library is probably about 30 games, and about 10 of those are Half-Life games. So,
Or
Like,
Half-Life
what-
mods.
or Half-Life mods. So, what I'm saying though is that like I do agree that way is great, and if we could, and I do think it's going that way, especially when you see what Xbox is doing, and especially if you see what NVIDIA is doing. When we get to that point, obviously it's not going to come fast enough, because you go anywhere outside of a major hub that can stream at a certain meg per second, you're not going to have, and it's not going to be great for competitive play. But if we're playing more casual stuff, I don't see why that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm like you. I don't like being enticed to spend money when I'm in a game, and I feel like that happens a lot. That like we were playing Paladins, right? You're in there and it's always given these options like, yeah, you can always just spend money to get this cool skin and all this. I'm just like, I want to just play the game. And I'm kind of. I mean, some games like the Battlefield and stuff, I get that there have these horrible models where people are paying money and getting advantages and stuff. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It'd be nice to just have like one payment going out, and I could just go on, click a down arrow or scroll through a list of titles and be like, hey, what did you want to play tonight? Oh, we haven't played this game yet. All right, let's go pop on and play that game. You know, that'd be awesome. And then we don't have to worry about, we have to buy this and this to play this game. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
You hear that, video game industry? We solved all of your problems.
Can you imagine like having a game? I mean, the size of a phone, you know, or whatever. Well, actually, that's too small. But you know, one of the Nox or whatever they're called.
The NVIDIA Shield. I'm telling you, look it up. It's the exact thing you're talking about. The library is just not as robust, but it's the exact thing you're talking about.
I think, or you could do this, right? Where if you have, I mean, especially with the external GPUs out, right? You can have the smallest, most basic computer, and you can stream. And if there's a game that you want to play competitively, and this is processor heavy, competitively, right? You could say, all right, I'm going to download that game because I play Overwatch competitively or whatever the hell it is. And then it just hook up the external GPU, and then that's it. And then so you can have that processing power, and so you're not having the delay, right? And then that's it. And then when you don't need it, you just disconnect it, and boom, you have this little portable. Oh God, the dream. Totally off topic. We kind of went off on the rabbit hole here.
No. This is all about.
And the only reason I've been thinking about this is because I've been looking extensively into external GPUs because I said to myself, and it kind of goes along with this model. It's like I don't want to have a lot of bulk. I want to have less stuff, but I still want to be able to enjoy the games that we want to play. So how do I combine those two things? And having cash shops and all that stuff in games is just extra stuff. It's extra money spent. It's extra expenses, and I don't want any of that. I want to minimize everything, and all of that fits into this tight little thing. I mean, imagine if you just had a laptop or even a flipping tablet, right? And you just sat it down and you could hook up to using a Thunderbolt 3 port, hook that up to a monitor, hook that up to the eGPU, you can play your games, or you have the stream whatever game you want. You don't have to use even a GPU. You just have that streamed to the monitor. Like that's awesome. And then you're paying one subscription fee. You don't have to worry about any kind of extra expenses. Oh, that'd be wonderful.
That I like having all of my teraflops. I'm just putting that out there. I like having my teraflops on hand.
You like all your cores. You like your cores.
I like how hot this room is right now because my fucking
if you're playing, like I said, if you're playing like extensive hardcore, you play a lot more than me. And if you're playing like competitively, especially, yeah, I totally get that. But
it's like a swamp ass factory here. All right, so I think we're gonna leave it at that. If you guys feel a certain way, if you think we're crazy, let us know. If you think we're right, let us know. If you feel neutral, you don't have to say anything. I don't want you to feel pressured. To be honest, communicating with strangers on the internet was always a weird thing to me. So this has been Space Chicken. Coming back for the month of, I don't know, maybe I'll post this in May. Maybe I'll post it in April when we recorded it. No one knows. Space Chicken out.